I'm now in Cordoba, and since I got to the hostel, this is the first time I've had a chance to come out. And where am I staying? I'm just staying in that place over there, the Aldea Hostel, 17,000 pesos a night, and it's not bad. I'll probably show you at the end of the video when I come back. So I arrived here from San Luis yesterday on a 7-hour bus ride. God, that was long. And that cost me 18,900. So I got here last night, and when I did arrive, it was raining. It was bad. I'm not used to rain in Argentina. So because the hostel has a cafe, I just got an Uber from the bus station to the hostel, dumped my bags, went to the cafe and had something to eat, and then just chilled because there was no way I was going to come out when it was wet, especially in t-shirt and shorts. And today the weather looks a little bit better, even though the weather forecast is it's going to be raining. Now the reason I've come out now is I had stuff to do in the hostel, but in my dormitory there are still people asleep, and I didn't want to wake them up. And I think they're still asleep because I was snoring last night, but I don't know because I was asleep. So I thought I'd come out, just get a first impression of the place. Plus I need to go and find a Western Union to get some money, because San Luis wasn't the best place for Western Unions. So what do I know about Cordoba? Not a lot. I was going to do some research this morning, but because I was in my room trying to be as quiet as possible, just to get... What? Hello? They were shouting at me, so yeah, because I was being extra quiet and trying to not do a lot in the room, I couldn't really do any research. I do know that it is the second biggest city in Argentina. It is a university city. In fact, let's walk along here. And when I've talked to people who've actually been here before while I've been traveling around Argentina, they've all said it's like a mini Buenos Aires and well worth visiting. So one of the main reasons I've come. But that looks like a canal through the centre. So I have booked already, without thinking about it, 3 nights, which is unusual because that's usually 1 night or 2 nights and then I'll extend. But because of the recommendations, why not? 3 nights, there's plenty to see around here. Now the only reason I'm walking down here is because on the map it takes you towards a park, and I thought it'd be a good chance to see what the city looks like. By somewhere across. And I think I'm right in saying that this is one of the oldest cities in Argentina. Look at the top of that building there. Wow. Now I am in the centre of the city, which is quite handy for the hostel, and already it just feels a bit more relaxed than Buenos Aires. Oh, big church. Yeah, it didn't feel crazy. Now I know when I showed the girl in the hostel I was coming down here, she asked if there would be any Western Union. She wasn't too sure, but she just said look for the Western Union signs, which is obviously what I would have been doing anyway. So the bus journey from San Luis was straightforward, and from the 7 hours that we travelled, the bus driver stopped, I think it was 4 times in various cities on the way to stop, and I would try and get off to get some food. I got breakfast before I left. He allowed me off once to go to a shop, but very quickly, because I think he was in a, not a rush, but with the timetable going. So I think I should have bought snacks before I left, but it was a welcome relief when I arrived in the hostel to find a cafe. Now most hostels you go to, they'll have already have given you a bed on the system, but when I arrived, and I should be grateful, but he took one look at me and went, oh no, he's old, we can't give him the top bunk that we've already given him, let's give him a bottom bunk. So I had to wait for a couple of minutes while they sorted it out. So sometimes when people say you're old, I get a little bit offended, but in this case I actually wouldn't, oh thank you, to be given a bottom bunk instead of climbing down in the middle of the night and falling onto the floor. Yeah, so the hostel is really, really good, very friendly, very sociable. I've already met someone who I saw about 6 weeks ago in Uruguay, who came up to me and went, Stu. I had to go, hey? Go on, where did we meet? Because I didn't recognise him. His beard had got a bit longer. And yeah, and then I've met so many people just chatting away. Yeah, I think I've landed on my feet, and because it's so cheap, it's perfect. Now with Mendoza, all the hostels, the cheap hostels, all offered free breakfasts. None of the cheap ones in Cordoba does that. So the reason I chose this one is because of the cafe that was attached to it. I'm sure there's a park round here, but I'm getting a good vibe for Cordoba because it is a university town, and I think it's one of the major ones for Argentina, that the population will be a bit younger. Oh, that could be it. Let's have a wonder. This is quite unusual. So this is Plaza Italia. I've noticed there's a few Italian squares within Argentina. That is quite funky. Wow. Oh, I like this. So originally I was going to do a no filming day, and just put up a community post tonight just to say that due to rain, travelling, I wasn't going to put a video out. But I thought if I do a first impressions of what this place looked like, and then say to people who are watching from Cordoba, where should I go? Because this video will be out tonight. Oh. Oh, there's a protest going on over there. Always love a good protest. Let's have a look. So yeah, there's things to see over the next 2, 3, 4 days that I'm here. Then let me know. Oh, there's a lot of police over there as well. Oh my god, there is a load of people. I think the whole square's taken up with them. And with the barriers, I don't think I'll get too close. And the police all look quite happy. No violence going on. Yeah, even more police there. Oh. Right, with Plaza Italia over there, there's another park just here. And if you are going to recommend anything for me to do in Cordoba, remember I have a budget, a very tiny budget. So I'm going to cross this road. Oh wow. In fact, if I walk down that way, I'll probably see the protest better. So Paseo Marqués de Sobremonte. Oh wow, look at that. I wasn't expecting this. I thought it was just another park that was the same size as the Italia one. Look at the size of that fountain. My god. So it says on the top of that building, Palacio de Justicia, so the Justice building. This is cool. Right, I think it's time to take a few Instagram pictures. I'm now back at the hostel, so I thought I'd show you what it's like. You get a card, so you know the security's good. Yeah. So you got the coffee through there. This is the reception area. It takes you straight through into a lounge area. And last night, this is where everybody was on their laptops working. So you've got stairs that take you to a rooftop area. Pretty chilled. And there are so many dormitories, which this gets you into your own individual one. And I'm just going to check that they're awake. They're all asleep still. Well, 2 of them are. So this is what I took last night when I arrived. You can just see what it looks like when people aren't asleep. It's going to do me for the next 2, 3 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, who knows. Well, that was just a quick look around. Trying to find a Western Union, see the protest, see the hostel, If you've liked what you've seen, well, all you gotta do is press. This afternoon, I'm gonna go to San Martin Plaza, which is the middle of the historical centre, and check out the history of Cordoba, because it's got a lot. And if you want to check that out, then subscribe. But until the next time, I'm going to go back in and be very, very quiet. Bye bye for now.